maybe a mobile game, but say perhaps you'd like to play a game in a race chair with a steering wheel.
We're doing great.
There are
Welcome.
4 stations. Look at this guy's jumping
Welcome
stage.
to
He's like,
E3
I'm ready.
2018.
I'm jumping in live. No
This is
pressure,
exactly the
but
level of polish and
camera's on.
presentation you should expect from all of these streams.
There's a ball pit over
Nothing
here.
and
There's
not
food over here.
preparedness.
We're going inside.
How you guys doing?
Let's head
How's things
inside
today?
And check out the show.
How's the volume on the E3 thing? Can you give me a heads up on what this sounds like? If it's too loud, too quiet, whichever. We are right on time. I would have been here sooner, but my girlfriend and I were caught up playing Detroit a little bit, so I am not here sooner. Volume is good. Just bump it down a little. I'll bump it down just a notch. It does seem a little loud based on what I'm used to. Cool, so we're starting with EA. Usually I'd like to be on sooner so we could talk about it a little bit. I guess I could talk about it right now. What should we expect? Battlefield 5, Anthem, A Way Out 2, which will be 16-player co-op third-person shooting, hopefully. In all seriousness, new stuff from that team would be cool. Not specifically the team that made A Way Out, but the EA team that works with other parties to make stuff. Whoa, look at this fancy pants shit we're seeing. Look at this gimmick that they paid for. Hopefully we'll see some Titanfall or Respawn's Oculus game. Jesus, look at this expensive gimmick. Holy fuck. How much money you spend on that one?
So that was Anthem. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But welcome
so EA is going full AR,
I'm Andrew Renee, and
I
while
guess.
You might recognize me from the
Sorry
gaming
about the
community,
sunlight, by the way.
I'm
There's nothing
kind
I
of a
can
new
really do
face
about the sun
around
right
here.
now.
So this year, EA wanted to change things up because they know that I'm both a gamer and a fan. So they invited me to come and host the show. And I think this year is going to be a lot of fun, you guys. I hope you're ready.
A lot of
fun. We're
fun.
about to kick the press conference off. But before we do that, EA Play is more than just the show you're about to watch. Right behind these doors, there is a fan fest outside, and it is huge this year.
I have a tiny window. I can't
It's a full
move my head
3-day gaming festival where thousands of gamers can come and play games for free. Now, inside the theater here, there are hundreds of community members from all over the world who are going to be capturing, streaming, and getting their first impressions of the games that we're going to be showing off here today. But before we can get to that, we've got some reveals, of course. We're going to kick things off with a look at Battlefield 5 multiplayer. Now, I know Trevor Noah gave you the first look. Yeah, we can
Okay, let's play a card game.
last month, but we've got some new stuff to show you today.
I don't have anything on tap.
To FIFA 19.
Oh,
and
good.
Boy, do they have some big
This
news, you guys.
first 20 minutes
Any
is going to
World
be
Cup
really
fans?
stacked,
You guys excited?
boys.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Battlefield into FIFA.
Then we've got 2 new indie games to share, and then I'm going to come back towards
2
the
new
end of the
indie games.
show
That's what
with
I'd
some
like
of
to
my
see.
favorite developers to give you guys a nice, meaty look at Anthem.
Of course, last
And
year
of
that was
course-
A Way Out and Faye.
Yeah, we got the woos for Anthem. I'm into it. You want to do this with me?
Don't do that. Oh my god, don't
Well, wouldn't it be
involve
fun, you guys,
a
if I
crowd
told you
member
all
who
the
doesn't know
secrets
what's
at
up.
once, right?
It's only going to go badly.
Give him a break. He needs to just enjoy the show.
Don't. That's not...
So without further ado, let's get things started.
I've co-hosted so many panels with people where they'll like try to do something like that, and I'm just resisting, screaming, "Stop! Stop!" It never goes well. Don't do that. Never gonna go well.
Right, it's time to kick this thing off. It's been 2 weeks since the reveal of Battlefield 5. And you know what? It's been exciting, there's been a lot of speculation, and so many brilliant remixes of a reveal trailer. But there's also been lots and lots of questions from the community. And we've heard you want to see more gameplay innovations. You want to know how customization actually works. We want to know
Blue Eyes
more
White
about
Fat
our
Ass
take
says,
on the
"Hi
Second
Liam, I just
World
want
War."
you to know your hair
So
looks
today,
especially good
we'll show you
today.
more
Thank
gameplay
you.
and what this
That's the most
is
thrilling
deepest
thing on my
and
monitor
most
right
immersive
now.
Battlefield yet.
It certainly is.
Real talk, on the topic
will
of
be able
Battlefield
to
5,
dive
they
and
put out some
smash
concept
through
art for it,
windows to
and there was a
surprise
few that
their enemies.
really blew me away. They have such a
Where
talented team of
previously
concept
defenses
artists.
were stationary,
Like, I mean, DICE is
you will
super
now be
talented,
able
so
to
hey,
move these
shocker.
weapons around on the battlefield and gain advantages. And our renowned destruction system is back and more impactful than ever. So, well,
I see some people in the chat talking about sales and microtransactions and such. I think they announced that they wouldn't have like loot crates
you will
or
now be
anything
able
like
to
that in this
customize
game.
your soldiers, your
Not 100%
vehicles,
sure,
and
but
your
I'm sure they'll
weapons,
address it at
not
some
only
point.
for the gameplay, but for the looks, as part of our portrayal of the Second World War.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg in Battlefield 5.
Can I turn my mic up a little? No, but I can turn their mic down.
From our community.
Down,
let's talk about our single player in War Stories.
It's a tough balance.
Let's do that. So we want to tell you about those untold stories that got us excited to start with on this game. It's about
what did I think about the Dead or Alive 6 trailer? Yo, it looked really good. Kasumi's new outfit looks fucking rad. I can't wait to see some like gameplay. I mean, not that that wasn't gameplay, but some like a real match. It looks really nice actually.
Real and relatable.
Hope we see some over the course of this E3 week.
Brutality of war. We started off by an exclusive look at the Nordlys war story over at the Xbox briefing tomorrow.
Thanks, Lasse. Something not to miss tomorrow. So, our launch in October is just the beginning. You will all go on an expanding journey through the Second World War.
Yeah, Tetris Effect looks amazing too, Rio.
No premium pass.
There you go. No premium pass, no nothing.
Every day will bring something new. And as part of that journey, after launch, you'll get something I know a lot of you have been asking for.
Mm-hmm. It's Royale.
Okay, we're at the first game of the E3 pressers this year.
So we bring those pillars
and we're 1 for 1 for Battle Royale.
Gameplay, vehicles into this new experience. So we will bring you experience that you haven't played before in Battlefield or anywhere else. But more about that later this year.
That's cool though. Like, to be honest, I'd rather play that than like Deathmatch or any of the regular Battlefield multiplayer modes. So
intensity of our multiplayer sandbox.
I'm cool with that.
It's even more epic, fighting across multiple maps and modes. Welcome to your next Battlefield experience, and this is your first look at ground operations. And this time, even featuring music.
I think that's rad. I don't know why people are so down on Battle Royale being in every game. Like, I know it's popular now, so, you know, whatever. Like, let people do it for the couple of years we're going to do it, and it'll be fun, you know? It'll be an identifier of the games that came out in these years. I think they're pretty rad. I saw a lot of people in the chat who were kind of down on that announcement just there, but I think that's cool. You know, whatever. Like, 4 years from now, they'll stop doing it. That's it, you know? It's cool. It's not sustainable. You know, who cares? That's their problem to deal with, you know? I'm never going to come down on a company and say, hey, that's not a profitable idea. Like, that's their right. You know, if they want to run with something, run with it, you know? That's fun. Yep, this sure is some World War II. Like, honestly, if I had to be down on something here, it would be that we're just doing World War II. We're just back to World War II again. And the circle completes itself anew. We have returned to what first-person shooters all were in the late 90s, early aughts. Thanks, Nordlys. Well, that's something to look forward to not paying attention to tomorrow. Oh. Okay, so FIFA Battle Royale, how does this work?
É preciso determinação e vontade de vencer. Até mesmo nos momentos mais difíceis, tu tens de continuar a acreditar. Esta é a tua oportunidade de te mostrares ao mundo. Tu és campeão.
Are they still doing the story mode that has that character, that Alex, what's his face, who continues from game to game? Or have they dropped this at this point? One player, 100 balls. That seems backwards. 100 teams, 1 ball. 100 players and the ball gets bigger as the match goes on. You guys have great suggestions here. Football, but you give every player a gun. 50 goalposts, 50 players. One player, 99 shoes. Wait, but then he'll have 2 shoes and there's just 97 shoes left on the pitch. One player and 100 refs. You know, they could really just use the singular camera. If soccer would just allow calls for the camera, that'd be fine.
The pinnacle of club
You don't need
football,
100 refs if you'll
where
just
the world's
fucking
best
use the
clubs
camera.
compete, and icons
Instead of being
the game like
fucking
Gerrard
babies and flipping
Cruyff
yourself all over
cemented
the
their
pitch.
legacies. The world's biggest league joins the world's game.
Makes me so angry.
And a special thanks to the legendary Hans Zimmer and LA's own Vince Staples for collaborating with us on the trailer.
Wow,
I really
Hans
love
Zimmer,
the trailer
really?
because
Cool.
it captures our epic vision for how the Champions League comes to life in FIFA 19. And Lena's going to tell you a little bit more.
We brought this expensive
As
urn.
Aaron said, the UEFA Champions League is an amazing addition for the game. It's where football's biggest heroes like Ronaldo and Neymar.
Frithnet
clash
says, I
every
honestly wonder how
year.
many people tune
And
into
it's the
E3 for
place
this.
where
I mean,
champions
I wouldn't think
rise.
sports games fans
And
won't
you've
always
been
buy the
asking
next
for
entry.
this for a
I mean,
long
honestly,
time,
EA
and
going
we
first
are
is smart
thrilled
for
that
them.
it's here.
Sorry to talk over this,
That's
but I don't
why
care.
we're bringing the Champions
EA
League
going first is
across the
incredibly
game.
smart.
There'll be
They
an
can't
authentic
compete
Champions
with
League tournament
Microsoft,
mode.
Sony, or
Your
Nintendo,
club
and there's
will
no
place
reason
this
for them
trophy
to. They're a
in
third party. They
career
don't
mode.
have to support a platform.
Alex
It's going to be
Hunter
tough for
will
them to
pursue
compete
Champions League
for core
glory in your
gamers
story mode, The Journey,
against like
and
Bethesda
in
and
FIFA
Square
Ultimate
Enix
Team,
and
there'll be
Ubisoft.
live and
So
authentic
it's good to go
Champions League
first and
content.
just, you know,
And we'll share more
have
details
the
on
floor
that,
to
along
yourself.
with all
Everyone's
other
paying
Ultimate
attention
Team
to you.
features
Everyone
later
will
this
listen to
summer.
what you got, and then
And all
you know,
that's just
we
the
can move
beginning.
on to everything else.
As you know, the heart and soul of FIFA is gameplay. And this year, we're giving you the tools to control the pitch in every
So,
moment. From your tactical
It's intelligent
approach to
on
the
their
match
part.
to
If they
each
went
technical touch.
second at all,
And we know how passionate
They
you
would
are
get
about
trashed.
gameplay, so we've worked hard to shape and refine our vision for FIFA 19 with input from our community. From hands-on tests with beginners to detailed feedback sessions with FIFA pros. And we're going to be sharing a lot more about gameplay throughout the summer, but what I can tell you right now is that the quality bar in gameplay was raised yet again this year. So we look forward to everybody experiencing the game on the hands-on sessions this week. And also, of course, we're extremely excited for everybody to play it when we launch on September 28th. And that's our FIFA 19 news, headlined by the UEFA Champions League. But I just wanted to take a minute to pause and reflect. Standing next to this trophy is a little bit surreal.
is that the actual trophy?
You know, growing up, there's 2 iconic trophies that every young player dreams of winning.
I guess it
And
is.
for your club, it's this one, the pursuit of Champions League glory. But for your country, it's this trophy, the World Cup. And with the
Everyone's saying
tournament
no,
starting
it's
in just
not the
5
actual
days,
trophy.
We're excited
Okay.
for the world to compete for it in FIFA 18.
As you can imagine, all of us on the FIFA team can't wait for the start of the World Cup. And we want to celebrate with FIFA 18 players, which is why...
Oh, it's in
just
Russia?
updated the game
Wow, it's
with
gonna be
3 World
super
Cup
corrupt,
experience
this one.
On PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PS...
It's bad enough
PC,
everywhere
and
else in the
Nintendo
world.
Switch. But you can take Ronaldo and Portugal to their first World Cup victory. Or you can write your own story with some great nations who didn't qualify this year. Or you can make a crazy dream a reality for your home country, like mine, Iceland. Who would have thought that a nation of only 350,000 people would ever qualify? And you can feel their excitement.
You can
Apologies
feel
to
my
any
excitement.
England fans in the room, that might still sting. And Lena isn't the only one who's excited. FIFA 18 players are loving the World Cup experience so far. But we don't want to stop there. We want to invite everyone to come and join the celebration. So I'm pleased to announce that for a limited time, FIFA 18 complete with the entire World Cup experience is available for a free trial on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and on PC through Origin Access. Yeah, you can download and play the entire game right now for free.
I mean, that's cool if you're a soccer guy. That ain't for me, but that's cool.
So to kick off the trial, we've got some of the world's biggest creators who are going to be playing live at the end of the show, representing their nations in a little mini World Cup tournament.
Yeah, YouTube.
And this summer will bring so much more for
I
FIFA
actually
fans.
recognize one of those guys from his fucking booster pack FIFA videos where he's opening FIFA loot crates.
But in the meantime, let's
that
all
shit's
enjoy
the worst.
Thank you, and
people fucking streaming themselves running through like loot crates and shit is the fucking worst. I hate that so much. It's just a stack of garbage. And you know, FIFA, they're gonna keep the fucking loot boxes for sure. Sports games are fucking ruined by loot boxes nowadays. Like, I mean, you can still play local, offline, whatever, but you want to go online, you pretty much need to have your My Team shit. Here's Andrew Wilson. Okay, we can start the show now. Welcome to E3 2018.
The community never rests. 20 million people from 60 countries playing in competitive leagues this year. Well, the FIFA team never rests either, bringing the Champions League and the World Cup and so much other greatness to FIFA this year. We can't wait for you to experience it all. We've got so much to do here today, but I want to welcome you to EA Play. It's our third EA Play and our second one in Hollywood, and we couldn't be more excited to have you with us to share all the games that we have to show you. We've got lots to do, but before we move on, I'd like to share just a couple of things. The greatest disruption to the consumption of entertainment media in the last 5 years is the combination of streaming plus subscription. As consumers, watching movies, watching TV, listening to music, reading books has never been easier. And we believe that disruption is going to have a profound impact on our industry in the next few years. And so over the last couple of weeks, you will have seen that we announced a new team from Israel has joined Electronic Arts to help our investment to extend our thinking and extend our pioneering into this cloud gaming world. For many people, that's going to mean extending the experiences they already play.
Yeah, I remember
the
press release for this.
For others, it's going to mean new games and new modalities of play across a whole variety of platforms. But for everyone, it's going to mean playing games anywhere, anytime. So this week, we've got a tech demo running. All of our games streaming in HD from the cloud to multiple devices that you'll be able to try out for yourselves. Now, it's not quite ready for full market prime time yet, but it is a promise of what we hope to bring you in the future.
Cool, okay.
The second part of that, of course, is subscription. And we started subscription a number of years ago, and many millions of you have signed up and experienced the joy of being able to have full access to a great catalog of games. Today, we're announcing Origin Access Premier. So 3 things you need to know about it. Origin Access Premier will bring you all of our new PC games, starting with Madden NFL, back on the PC for the first time in over a decade.
There's a guy in the crowd really popping for that
19,
one.
Battlefield 5, and of course Anthem. And there'll be many more titles in the years to come.
Ooh, nice key art for Anthem.
Second, you get access to the Vault, our library of over 100 games from EA and other publishers. And third, it will launch later this summer. So that's a little later in the year, but if you want to get started right now and experience the benefits and joys of subscription, come in and play a free trial of Origin Access, our base subscription, this weekend. Thank you and have a great show.
You know, I hear from a lot of people who have Xboxes that they really like the EA Play stuff or the EA Access stuff on Xbox. So maybe that'll be alright too. I mean, it's just a subscription fee for access to all their games, right? So if you're into a bunch of their games, that's probably good. Probably. And clearly there's a bunch of third-party shit in there, like there was Batman, and I saw some indie games in that list too, like Sundered. You know, I'm still the type of dude who would rather buy my games one by one, but there's probably good value there for someone who's more value conscious
everybody.
or
What's
someone
up? So I'm here sitting inside the
less
crowded EA
into
Play,
core games who just wants to
and I
play
just happened
sports
to
every year or
find
something.
Mr. Vince Zampella here in the audience from Respawn.
Yeah, okay.
What's going
Let Vince
on,
talk.
Vince? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I love this stuff. I love seeing new games.
I mean, someone's super excited about that man on PC, right? Yeah. So, you guys may have seen that Vince was tweeting yesterday, and there has been a bunch of speculation. So, you want to just get right to it?
Sure. I mean, we're not ready to show all of our stuff yet. We're working on a bunch of stuff. It's amazing. The teams are kicking ass. But we wanted to bring a little tidbit. So we've been working with Lucas on getting the name and kind of the setting for what our Star Wars game is going to be, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Yeah,
oh, you guys got
very
any
interested in
guesses? I
seeing
bet you
this.
the internet is going wild right now.
I hope so. So the Star Wars name is Jedi Fallen Order.
Woo! So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, so it kind of gives you some idea that you'll be playing a Jedi.
So does that mean I get to like hold a lightsaber?
Yes.
So Vince, you got anything else?
Well, it takes place during the dark times. Trying to be a little vague here, but when the Jedis are being hunted, so it's going to be spectacular.
So for all the hardcore nerds out there who want to know like where in the timeline, like between which episodes is it?
Between 3 and 4.
Okay, all right, between 3 and 4. That sounds like a nice time. You got any other tidbits?
It's not a nice.
It's a dark time.
It's a dark time.
I guess like that's like the
Bad
widest
time.
time
Does that mean
period
it's
besides
just
the
be all
future
dark
or
and
far
serious?
past.
It's amazing.
I do hope they show
All right,
something.
so I think people are now anxiously want to know like when can we play the game?
It will be holiday of next year, 2019, not this year.
So sorry to dash any hopes.
No.
But now that we know, we can set expectations. We're all going to be amped up, and hopefully we'll hear more from you maybe next year.
Oh yeah.
Well, Vince, it was great to see you. Thanks for stopping by the show today. We do have a little bit more news on Star Wars, so I'm going to toss it over to Dennis.
We're gonna switch to Battlefront 2 now. You know, it's funny because they did that a few years ago, two E3s ago, maybe 3 E3s ago, where they showed a bunch of really early development games, one of which got canceled. So it's not the first time that's happened.
I'm really happy and excited to be here today.
Really excited to
Thank
see
you so
Respawn
much
Star Wars,
for hanging
though,
out with me
for
for
sure.
a little bit. So we launched our game in November of last year, and clearly we didn't get it quite right. So instead of coming out of the gate sprinting like we really wanted to, we had to take a step back and make sure that we were delivering the game that our players really wanted. So we decided to completely overhaul our progression system and add a bunch of new character cosmetics for players to collect instead. So from there, we added a new hunt mode inspired by the original Battlefront games that I loved personally, starting with the Ewoks on Endor. And
getting to kill Ewoks was great, by the
thank
way.
you. It turned out to be by far the most popular update of the game, and the team loved building Ewok Hunt. So as you might know, we're currently in our Han Solo season with content from the movie coming next week. It's headlined by the new planet Kessel, a really dangerous place, and it features the return of one of our favorite modes, Extraction.
Yeah, I haven't played this
Looking forward a
map
little
yet.
bit,
It looks nice.
This summer, we will be introducing a new squad system to the game, which will allow you to team up much easier and play with your friends.
Damn it, I don't have any friends who play
We're
this.
also adding a new Starfighter mode focused around dogfighting with your hero ships.
Oh, cool.
And looking ahead a little bit more,
I love the dogfighting in this
we will
game.
also be delivering a new large-scale multiplayer sandbox experience focused around capturing command posts and attacking and taking out capital ships.
Cool.
But that's not all. We know that you have been asking for new heroes, villains, and planets from a certain era that features a very iconic Star Wars conflict. So I'm excited to confirm that Battlefront 2 this year we'll be going deep into the Clone Wars.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm super down for that.
It's only fitting that we begin on the planet Geonosis.
The art from those
multiple
episodes are great. Yeah, Geonosis.
Including the largest level we have ever built for Battlefront. So let's talk about the heroes and villains. First, let me introduce...
Of course.
The most powerful droid, the leader of the most powerful droid army in the galaxy, General Grievous. And yes, he will be going up against my own personal favorite, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Finally making his debut in Battlefront after all these years. So, but we're not done. That's not it. They will not come alone. Joining them is the Dark Lord and leader of the Separatist Alliance, Count Dooku, as well as someone to bring balance to the Force, Obi-Wan's unruly Padawan, Anakin Skywalker. The team at home is extremely excited to be building all of these cool things. EA and DICE are committed to Battlefront. We had a rough start, but I really think that this game has a bright future. Thank you very much for playing the game, providing us with your feedback, talking to us. Together, we will make this the greatest game that we can possibly build. There would be no Battlefront without you. So thank you, may the Force be with you, and enjoy the rest of E3. Thanks.
You know, I'm glad they're still committed to it, because I've been playing it since launch, and it has only gotten better. Granted, launch was still really good, because remember they disabled all microtransactions, so nobody could even buy the shit anyway. Oh yeah, Yarny's back! Shit. Unravel 2 Revengeance. I hope they get the Swedish dude back on stage. The guy who couldn't speak good. Yeah, it's him.
Hi, it's really good to see you. In Unravel, we used yarn.
He's doing better.
Love and the bonds between people. In our new game, we tear that bond up right at the start. You lose everything, including your spark. But when things are at their darkest, you find hope. And you form a new bond. And your spark is rekindled. And it leads you off on an adventure. So welcome to Unravel 2.
It's cute how they stylize it with text instead of the number 2. Unravel 2, Yarny's Depression Quest.
It's a game about fresh starts and second chances. These two little souls who refuse to give up and who build something new and beautiful together.
A battle royale.
And the whole game is inspired by that spirit of optimism and togetherness. You see, it's all made to be played with two characters. You can play it alone, or you can play it in co-op with a friend, but there's always two characters there, sharing one yarn and working together to get through this adventure. This game, it's quite different from the first. It's both friendlier and more challenging.
EA, year after year, single-handedly saving local two-player co-op games.
It's a worthy successor. And I want to show it to you now, so I brought some help. So please welcome Michael to the stage. He's a producer at Coldwood. And we're going to try to show you a little bit of what I'm talking about how you can play the game in co-op with yourself, essentially.
So this wasn't prepared.
Yeah, get that debug going. We need to...
There we are.
Perfect. Now we're in the right level.
So when you're playing it by yourself, you can essentially pick up the other character and carry them along through the more fast-paced segments of the game.
Okay, cute. And
we
split when
actually
they need
tried
it.
to include a bit more of those because we figured that since it's a co-op game, we wanted to have more like thrill and danger and kind of wow moments. Places that were like fun and exciting.
It's so beautiful, just like the first game.
When you get to the more puzzly areas like this, when you're problem solving, you can split apart into two and switch back and forth between the two characters.
These games are so fucking lavish visually for 2D platformers, but it's wonderful.
You're always working together and helping each other out and utilizing this bond between you to overcome any obstacle that you come across. So I guess I'll jump in at this point.
Yeah, come join me. So I'm gonna be the red one.
Okay.
You'll be the blue one.
I'll be blue. A little celebratory flip there. And the bird is back. Oops. Okay, playing it safely now. Oops. I'll swing.
All right.
Nice. And I'll catch
it's neat how you can swing off each other like that.
Can I swing now?
Okay, you go ahead. So here it goes.
Oh.
Okay, this is the scary part. Let's see if we can do it.
I want to see him get eaten by the turkey. Kind of, but I'm worried it'll be too gory.
Very nice. Faster.
Well done.
Sweet, well done. Okay, I'll go up and distract the grouse. You can.
I'll sneak up here.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah, look at me. There you go.
Keep him over to the left. Now I'll go.
All right. Now
I'll pull you up.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they're doing a live demo too, but you know what? It's going just fine. There was the debug thing at the beginning because whoever set up the computer there didn't set the game up correctly, but whatever, like, who cares? They're only human, it happens.
So that's a quick little look at Unravel 2. I
like that dramatic turkey chase, that's great.
Yeah, I really hope you like it. And before I go, I just want to send some love to the team back home because working on this game has been a completely amazing team effort in so many levels, and everybody has worked so hard. So there's a bunch of us from Coldwood here, and thank you to those, and thank you to everybody back home, and thank you. Love you.
Oh, he wasn't jittery this year, but you know what? Good for him. I'm sure he was really nervous about that, like, 10 minutes ago. Like, I'm gonna get out on stage and I'm not gonna be able to fucking speak again. I'm surprised he didn't pull the blue Yarny out of his pocket, like last time. I like how they cheer each other on there. It's so neat having a 2D platformer like this that's so photorealistic. As much as we get 2D platformers every other day, I don't think there are any that even touch this in terms of like photorealism and stuff. It's cool how it's able, like, if it looked like anything else, if it looked video gamey, it would just blend in with the rest.
These guys have done an amazing job, and it's clear that they have a lot of passion, and I can't personally wait to play Unravel 2 with my kids. But what's even more amazing is that we will make Unravel 2 available to everyone today. Yep,
nice.
You heard that right. You'll be able to take these two Yarnies on their next big adventure starting today. The game is finished, it's out.
Hey, well, congrats to the team on launch.
So thank you, Martin, and thank you to the team at Coldwood. Back in 2015, we started on this journey with the original Unravel to seek out the most creative, independent developers and bring them into our EA Originals program. It's been our way of helping these creators bring their unique games to the world and to tell their stories. And last year, if you remember, Joseph Fares was up here on stage representing his team at Hazelight.
He will never be on stage ever again. We're proud to announce.
And you might even remember him from the Game Awards as well. I think I did. Anyhow, in March, that game caught fire. It's
did really well.
It's fun, and it's something fresh and new.
I still haven't played
all
it.
Loved it. We saw over 2 million players in the first 2 weeks. And
wow, that's higher than
I'd
heard.
Such a huge success that Joseph and his team are expanding and moving into a new studio. So stories like this drive our
Great for them.
And it's why we will continue to work with independent developers to help them realize their dreams. Which leads us to our next EA Originals title, from a little game studio in Berlin called Joe My Games. When I met this team and I saw the game, I was instantly drawn to how personal this story was. It's one that carries a very powerful and important message, and it's unlike anything we have ever done. So please welcome Connie Gepper to the stage from Joe My Games to tell you more about Sea of Solitude.
Thank you, Patrick. I still remember during the pitch how enthusiastic Patrick was, and that afterwards, like, our whole team, including me, were super excited. It actually feels a little bit the same right now. I'm pretty excited, maybe a little too excited.
Deep breaths, deep breaths. Yeah.
Thank you. We are Yomai, a small indie game studio from Berlin, and we are developing Sea of Solitude, or SOS as we call it. The whole journey from the very first concept to actually becoming a part of EA Originals is simply amazing. Let me tell you more about our game. When humans get too lonely, they turn into monsters. This is at the core of everything you will see, hear, and hopefully feel while playing SOS. What makes this underlying concept so important and so unique is that nearly every human being can at least somehow relate to or remember the feeling of being lonely. In my case, I started writing the story when I felt the loneliest in my life. I think as an artist, you process your emotional world by letting it out and putting it into your art. I'm still amazed how the concept seems to just float out of me right into the hand and onto the paper. I think this is also why so many people can instantly connect with the game, because it's not a made-up story, even though that it takes place in a fantastic setting. In SOS, we try to show how people experience different kinds of loneliness, but also how outsiders, friends, and family see those who struggle. We achieve all this in playful ways so that players who want to simply enjoy a fantastic experience can do so. But player who wants to look a bit deeper can reveal a whole emotional world beneath it all. Sea of Solitude is about a young woman named Kay who is suffering from such strong loneliness that her inner feeling, the darkness, the anger, the hopelessness, worthlessness, turns to the outside and she becomes a monster. The game is about finding out why this happened to her, but also how to turn her back into a human. Ultimately, the goal is to bring all those emotions into balance. Some needs to become bigger, some would be better off a little smaller, but to embrace even your destructive part or your self-doubt in the same way you embrace your joy or your hope. This is what being human is all about. And that's what our game is all about. Thank you.
Deep breaths.
Is this real?
Okay, so we're not just a boat.
This world that I live in is empty and cold. The loneliness cuts me and tortures my soul. I'm no child of destiny and no fortune's son. I've just chased you so long now, I'm too weak to run. A new day is here, but nothing is new. Alone in my room, I tremble for you.
Very cool. Looks really neat. Congrats to them getting to announce like this. That's neat. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about it besides I'm down with that.
But I'm not the only one.
He's the one.
We are the one.
Wait, who's the one?
Set you down, and we can put you on an island.
You're confusing me.
Gather. Gang.
That, but he had a 0 on his chest. I thought he said he was the one.
Be ready. Because we're coming at you.
Is this Street again? Is this NBA Street finally?
Say it how you want. Trust the process. Run as one. Call next. Or be the answer. As long as you hold your course.
Oh, he's the one. He had a 1.
Just remember though.
I'm incredibly confused by this.
Whatever your fit, or however you ball, you're on my court.
They're really pushing that Nike sponsorship.
I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. And this is my squad.
Nope, it's just NBA Live. Very sports.
My name's Shay Kivlin, aka Young Kiv.
Man, sports are crazy.
The only goal of mine is really to win the Mountain Belt.
You ever watch sports? Not me, not even once.
It's a big night for Young Kiv. He's been stuck at the quarterfinals.
And here he is
Esports
now in his
sports.
first
Let's go.
championship game, looking to accomplish a goal.
3rd and 4, throws it low. T.Y. drops it.
That was a phenomenal read, and Trini's got the lead.
40-19.
I hate losing way more than I love winning.
Oh, we have a credible matchup. It's a rematch. Touchdown, Kev. He throws it high.
I'll keep talking about it every year, but when are they just going to announce EA Sport? Where you can pick whatever sportsman you want to do whatever you need to do. You want to take the hockey man onto the basketball pitch? Do it. You want to take baseballer to the golf course? Do it. 100 players, 1 sports field. Do whatever you want. When's that coming?
Okay, baby, how you doing?
I've been good. You still recovering from that butt whooping?
Wow, already starting. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Juju Smith-Schuster from the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you guys can see, king of touchdown celebrations. That's pretty fire. I like that a lot. As you guys know, this is Young Kiv, Madden 18, Madden champion. Like, give it up for Young Kiv, y'all. Give it up. Young Kiv, how has it been? You know, your success and your path, you know, to where you're at today.
It's I've always been a competitor. When I was in high school, I was playing baseball. I hurt my arm. So then I picked up Madden, and at first I was really bad. I was getting blown out online, but I kept at it. I put more and more time into it. Eventually I made my first tournament, but I had a big decision. It was the same time as my graduation.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So the key to be the #1 player in Madden is to hurt your arm in baseball. That's #1. #2, you said you had the decision to go to your graduation or go to a tournament. So like, what did you do?
I chased that money. I still got my diploma, but I chased that money.
There you go.
Yo,
We're out
don't
here
put guys
chasing
like this
money.
on stage.
That's awesome. Okay, now
They're
the
about
past
as
few-
charismatic
the
as
past
me,
few years,
so
how
probably
has it
not who
been?
you
I know
want on
had some ups
stage
and downs.
for this kind of thing.
It's been tough. I've had a lot of devastating losses. I've been so close so many times. I made the final on TV and got blown out. But all those losses made me gain a lot of mental toughness, and that's why I got this belt.
That's awesome. That belt is so amazing. There's a lot of, bling on that belt for you. Well, today, EA Play, first look at the Madden 19 trailer. Super excited. It's going to be so fun. It's lit. I honestly wish I can stay right here and talk to you guys forever.
Game
but I'm not going to bore you guys. We're going to go out. I'm going to try to take this belt, round 2. So we're out. Have a good day.
You've worked your whole life to get to moments like these. To the very
Jesus,
top
these
of the
fucking graphics, holy shit. The first shot I was like, wait, is this real footage? It looks so good visually. I'm really impressed.
Legends are born.
Maybe I just don't pay enough attention to sports games, but Jesus Christ.
You fall so you can rise. And you rise so that you can truly see. See that it was really never about reaching the end of the road at all. But about all the moments that got you here.
I think that's my favorite thing about EA press conferences, is just seeing all their developers with the Frostbite engine and just seeing like some graphics porn. Cause, jeez.
So, you were in their position. Would you let the moment define you? Or will you define the moment?
And even if the final game doesn't look quite that good in the end, like, that is clearly rendered in real time on something. If they wanted to do pre-rendered CG,
Hello,
it would look better than
I'm
that.
Nathanius,
You know?
professional shoutcaster, here alongside Redwood
We've got
Studios
Screamlords.
General Manager Michael Martinez.
Okay, what's the Screamlords here for?
Excited to be here. Yeah, we're going to do this presentation a little bit differently and give you your first look at a brand new mobile game in a live, winner-take-all, head-to-head match.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Michael, why don't you tell us the rules?
Sure thing. The objective is straightforward. Destroy the opponent's base to win. Unit control, super simple. Just tap the destination, unit automatically moves there. The most efficient way to destroy
Is
the
Command and
opponent's base
Conquer?
is with this giant
Do
nuclear
they own
missile
Command and
in the
Conquer?
center of the map. Control the missile by standing on a majority of the control points. A bar fills up while the missile is possessed. Whoever controls the missile when the bar fills up will fire the missile. Takes 2 missiles to destroy the enemy's base and win. That's it.
Sounds great, Michael. Well, enough talking about it. Let's get to this match.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome matchup lined up for you here today. Fighting for the blue side of the room, if you could please give a cheer for one of the most formidable RTS players there is. Make some noise for In Control. Yes. His opponent.
Really, In Control, wasn't he the Evil Geniuses guy?
Competitive mobile gaming phenomenon. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Nick at Night.
I think I actually recognize his name. I don't know Nick at Night. No matter how many of these you give me Nick at Night, I'm not gonna,
Now,
it's
Mike,
not gonna
it's
work.
Be a real clash of these gaming styles and the competitive backgrounds that these players have. It should be a great match.
It really is. I can't wait.
All right, are the players ready? Let's get this thing going.
Ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
All right, let's kick this off. Nice little strategy game for those of you out there. It's a good genre. I'm very excited for this. The players are loading in, and we are ready to
the
kick
match. Here we go.
this off as the players' bases have been deployed and the action begins like any strategy game. Economy will be the focus. We have a harvester to start.
Oh,
things
and
off.
there's
Nothing
Fog of War too.
Too crazy.
Now the infantry is going to come out to hold that top point. Both players, of course, trying to take that
Okay,
position.
so those just
Nick Knight being
automatically
able to reach it a
engage.
little bit first.
I mean, this doesn't look awful, to be honest. Not really my type of game, but like
also very important as Nick Knight's
fun
forces
enough
have
for
to roll around
someone.
the
I'm
center.
sure it'll be packed with awful microtransactions, so that sucks.
Looks like he's getting there. Here comes GDI with
This is fucking Command and Conquer,
Rhino.
though,
Gonna
isn't
rip
it?
up those infantry.
Yeah, going for the anti-infantry, and like any strategy game, the units that you're going to use when you deploy them will have a huge impact. Your micromanagement of your forces and protecting that economy as well.
Yep, Nick and Knight with some attack bikes in the top. There he is.
And In Control placing the turret on the top right side to help cover that Rhino as attack bikes move towards the northwest position. We can see that the missile is beginning to ready and firing that. That takes out half your base. The most
Yeah, so they have to
important objective on the map
control
is to hold those control
2
zones.
points
And
for the
In Control
missile to
making a
ready
lot of
up.
progress to that far right side of the match.
Right.
He's done a great job of holding that down with the turret, and now he's redeploying his vehicles to the south side, bringing out more infantry to deal with the attack bikes. And as that economy ramps up, of course, we're seeing bigger and more powerful units come out. We have
I mean, it's neat.
coming in the left side to
Not
help
for me,
with
but
those
Some flamethrowers, right?
It's
Absolutely.
cool.
Again, those are
People
gonna
will
tear
enjoy
through
this.
Those infantry.
Yeah, and In Control brings out his first tank. That's going to be
Thanks,
used to try and help
guys.
push
Nice
back
of you.
these smaller forces as he makes his way to the south side. That missile passing halfway now.
Oh, there
Both
it is.
two zones
Okay.
in control of Nick at Night. He will have the missiles. We see it starts to point towards In Control's base.
Let's see if In Control can get around to that.
I'd be
south
curious
corner,
to
able
see
hold
what
that
other
missile.
maps
He does contest
look
the missile,
like.
putting it into the yellow position.
So the missile does 50% of their base's damage, but I guess after the missile you still have to destroy the base. So there's a whole second phase to the mission,
Secure the
basically.
northwest spot. Another tank's going to come out from Nick at Night to take it out, but now he's bringing out the Pitbull as well to help lock down that north position.
This missile is very, very close to firing. Let's see what's going to happen.
With another turret, In Control flanks. He takes the top. That missile
And that
fires off.
Wow.
And Nick at Night, one shot away from being knocked out here, as the next one will start to ready up in just a moment's time.
Oh,
In
a
Control's
second
very
missile
heavy
will
artillery
appear,
force is doing a
and then
great
it's
job
literally
of
just
taking
do a second
control of
round.
that.
I wonder if you can actually send vehicles to the other base
As
and have
more
them
Nick
just
at
attack
Knight's
the base
forces move
directly.
up towards that
Probably.
north position. Those harvesters, of course, very
Yeah,
crucial,
missiles
very
definitely seem
important
like
to
the
protect
optimal way
those,
to do it.
As your economy allows you to get these big late game units. The units are going to come out a bit more slowly as you get more of them on the field. But In Control, just spreading his forces out, trying to hold this advantage that he's had so far.
Nick at Night is trying to get in there, but there's a great turret placement from In Control, blocking and just ripping through again those infantry.
And we see In Control now moving his tank towards this
Another
south
drill
side.
pod we're seeing with some flame tanks.
Yeah, bringing the
Man,
flank,
this
of
Nick
course,
at Night
the
dude
flame
is getting shredded,
amazing
though.
damage to the infantry, help to clean that out. Meanwhile, 2 more tanks coming out from Nick at Night to try and secure those positions. He brings up the laser infantry on the south side as well to deal with that tank. Going for counters, trying to scout out and see what your opponent is doing and make the proper response is so important in strategy.
Absolutely. Nick at Night cruising around, thinking about harassing those harvesters, coming around the far side for those rhinos. Looks like he's really pressing it.
And we see that missile is starting to get close.
Oh my god, Nick at Night is turning it around.
Zones in control for
He's
Nick at
counter
Night,
shredding.
looking to set things back the other way. In Control trying to rally his forces around. He doesn't want to engage with just 1 or 2 units. He wants to move all of them together, create a good flank position, and take over that south.
And we're seeing the first mech unit from In Control. This is the Wolverine. Gonna rip, and this little, watch out for this missile.
And Nick at
There
Night's
it
gonna
goes.
fire that one off and settle for next missile is gonna
Oh,
end
look
it.
at that. When so we're watching In Control's screen, right? When his base took that much damage, his material production increased in speed dramatically. So that's why Nick at Night was able to turn it around so hard. Once that first missile hit, he was gaining so many more crystals to work with.
That missile just passed halfway ready. He's also
I see, so I guess the more damage your base takes, or maybe it's just that 50% threshold, the more resources you generate.
In Control just needs to hold
This
a big comeback mechanic.
nearly gonna fire.
It can be
That's
stolen
80%.
at any point.
Where is it gonna go? Is he gonna be able to get it off?
He's got it, Max.
There it is!
He's gonna take it. Defeating Nick at Night here,
legit.
2-1.
Dude, that was epic.
I don't know if I'd call it epic,
What a
but
match. Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
Any thoughts, guys?
I just came to make mammoth tanks, so I've done my job. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was
Thank you
awesome.
so
We saw a
much.
little bit of everything right there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Nathanius, Nick at Night, and In Control. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw was the worldwide reveal of Command & Conquer Rivals.
there you go.
Rivals reimagines the real-time strategy experience for mobile. We're giving players complete, continuous control of their armies in quick, competitive head-to-head matches that are fueled by skill and strategy. Now, Rivals will be coming to iOS and Android devices.
but I'm excited to announce that Android players can play the pre-alpha today. So head to the Google Play Store, search Command & Conquer Rivals. The studio has been having an absolute blast playing this game, and we can't wait for you to play. Please let us know what you think. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, super not for me, but it is neat. This is Anthem. No, this is just Rivals. This is just exactly what we're looking at. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is just the big expensive CG trailer that they're gonna run on TV and on YouTube. Oh shit! There he is! Yuri live on screen.
Command & Conquer for a new generation. Now, before we close the show with a spectacular epic anthem, I wanted to share a few final things. I am blessed to be able to work with some of the most creative people on the planet who come to work every day to create amazing entertainment. And what I can say about all of those teams, and what I can say about us, is that we are always trying
Oh, is that
to
Kane?
learn
I didn't play
and
Command
listen
and Conquer.
and strive
I've
to be
never
better.
played a Command and Conquer
so,
game.
as you look at
I've
the 10
always
experiences you're gonna
assumed
see today,
that
as you
was
play
Yuri
games this week,
because the name,
there's some things we hope come through.
but I'm
First,
willing to
at the
admit that
very
was
core of
completely
this
wrong.
choice is that you as players get to choose how you play, what you play.
I always
when you
played
play,
the,
and what devices you play on.
The Dune
But in
games.
making those
That was my
choices, you
choice of
feel
RTS
you are
title.
treated fairly, that no one is given an unfair advantage
Still by
or
Westwood.
disadvantage for how they choose to play. That for every moment that you invest, we know that you put so much of your life into the games we make, and that for every moment that you invest, you feel like you are rewarded and you are given value for that investment. And most importantly, that the games are fun, that we move past the grind, and that these are experiences that truly enhance your lives. And so, as we think through all the things that we're trying to do, know that we want to be better and that we want to make great games. And that as much as we love making games and as much as you love playing them, there's something that is even greater that we can do together. The power of this community when we come together to do amazing things is profound. Last weekend was the 3rd year of our Play to Give program, where we show the world how the power of play can be a positive force for social impact. Millions of you out there participated in 9 in-game challenges in our games, logging millions of hours in support of Play to Give. And to celebrate that, we contributed a total of $1 million to 3 charities that share our vision for a more inclusive world. A world where representation and equality are not something we strive for, they are the standards. And where bullying and exclusion are not an everyday thread. These 3 organizations, the United Nations He for She, PACE's National Bullying Prevention Center, and Ditch the Label, an anti-bullying organization, all are doing great work, and we're proud to support them through Play to Give. And thank you for your support. Thousands of us at EA and millions of you together doing immeasurable good because we love games. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for the incredible privilege of making games for all of you. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at Anthem.
The gods vanished and left our world in chaos, creating, altering, destroying. The anthem is all that remains.
There's a storm coming. These walls can't protect us forever.
that wants to destroy us all.
I'd really like to see some more gameplay of this. Like, it was nice, but I could just glaze over during that. They may just say, hey, you'll see gameplay tomorrow at Xbox, but I'd like to see some now, please.
How cool was that trailer? You guys have seen it a couple times, and it's still cool every time I see it. So I know all of you, like me, have had tons of questions about Anthem since last year because we're all BioWare fans. So we're going to do something a little bit different for the rest of the show, and we're going to take a deep dive into Anthem. So I'm going to bring out some members of the BioWare team to chat with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Casey Hudson, Mark Dara, and Kathleen Roussard. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for coming out today. Just got a little game to show, right? Yep.
Please play it live.
So Casey, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right in and get started with you.
Please put controllers in their hands.
Casey, you started your career at BioWare way back in the day, but you took a couple years off. But before you came back, you actually worked on Anthem before you left.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, first of all, it's amazing to be back. It's awesome to be making.
Wow, he worked on Anthem and then left and came back to Anthem? Shit. I thought Anthem started up during the time he left.
And, you know, I just want to be able to continue the legacy of the studio. And that's kind of where it started with Anthem, is just thinking about, you know, what is the evolution of a BioWare game? And we wanted to create a brand new world for people to discover, you know, a whole new world of story and character. But we also wanted to do something that was, you know, more of a dynamic and living world, a game that would change every time you came back and played it. We also wanted to do something where, you know, if you wanted to invite your friends into it, then you could do that as well. So that was really the initial vision of the game, not an MMO, not a multiplayer game with stories sort of bolted on this side, but something new and different, and I think the team has really captured that vision over the years.
Your fans really love the stories from BioWare, but I think we're kind of curious how you're planning to make story work in this shared world.
So a great story for BioWare is really about characters that you can have a connection with, choices you get to make, and feeling like the story is about you. In a lot of multiplayer games, those things get diluted because you're mixing multiplayer and storytelling into the same areas. Now, you can build a solution to that, but you have to really build it into the core of the game. And that's what we've tried to do with Anthem. It's what we call our world, my story. So when you're out in the open world, the world is really dangerous, and you're focused on your mission. And this is where other players get to play with you. The thing that's really interesting about this, that's unique for Anthem, is that this is a living shared world. So whether there's weather or it's nighttime, what we're experiencing together. Everyone that's playing Anthem at a moment is seeing the same thing. And this is what we mean when we talk about our world. It's a shared world that we all experience together. But then when I finish my mission, I come back to a base like Fort Tarsus. And this is a single-player experience. I turn in my rewards, I talk to some characters, I experience the choices of my action. And this is where your story really lives and breathes. And by doing it this way, we're able to combine that impact and agency of a single-player story with the fun of teaming up with your friends to play co-op in combat.
And we're also designing it so that we can add story for years to come. So one of the first things that we hear from our community is they want to continue to play in our worlds. When they've finished Mass Effect or Dragon Age, players want more story. And so we've designed Anthem in a way that we can actually add more story for years to come. And it could be anything. A new moment with a character that you've grown to love, or an event in the world that deepens the lore, or
Show
an
me
entirely
it.
new storyline and plot.
Well, I'm certainly not
And I'm not
gonna
just saying
complain
this about her,
Lord's
but
story. I don't
like
think anybody
they're
out
all
there is
saying all
going to
these things
either.
about
So
Anthem.
Kathleen, I wanted to ask you,
It's
from
like,
a writing perspective,
please
you are the
just
lead writer,
show
can you
it
speak
to
what
me.
it's like to create
Show
a new
me
world like
talking
Anthem
to a
from the
character
beginning?
who matters,
Well, what's really
and then going on
exciting
that single
for
player
us,
mission.
And not just the writers, but all of the devs, the designers, the artists, is that we're creating something new.
Because the subtext of that gameplay should be that they succeeded,
of the premise of
right?
Anthem
And
is
that
a
you give a
world
shit
left
about
unfinished
the
by
story or the
gods.
characters or whatever.
gods
Because this
left
is great.
behind their
Watching the
massive
character
tools,
fly around
but
like this
those
looks
tools
rad
are
as
constant
fuck.
conflict
It looks
with this
awesome. I
unknowable
really
force
like
called
the
Anthem of
characters
Creation.
flying.
And
Not gonna lie, I
those
just think
things
that looks
pushing
sick.
against each other means that the world is
But like, show me some of this
constantly
story.
in new and unpredictable ways.
Yeah, violent storms, mutated creatures, gigantic
Jeez.
monsters. It's a dangerous environment that you need to wear a suit of powered armor, a javelin, to be safe.
I like how they say early
That's
concept
something
art
I
and not
think a lot of
concept
players
art.
out there maybe don't stop to think about. It's
Like,
just
all
how
concept
much
art is
work
pretty
goes
early.
into creating a new intellectual
And
property
it's
or
concept
IP,
art.
as
It doesn't
we've been
matter if it's
saying.
early or late.
Now,
We know it's
we've seen all these
concept.
different creatures, and Mark, you mentioned the
But this is
storms.
early concept
What's
art.
the process of creating a game like
We've already
this?
thrown this concept art out.
Yeah, it's something we've done a few times at BioWare. You know, and then really the hardest part is getting started, just kind of getting off the blank page. So what we try to do is we think about the new experiences that we're trying to unlock for players. So like, what is the fantasy fulfillment? What are the new things you actually get to go and do that are different from what you've played before? So that's where we start. And then once we think about those things, you know, that's the power of creating new IP, especially for games, is that you actually get to build a whole fictional universe that's meant to bring out a certain experience. And then once we do that, then we still need to build all the rest of the stuff, and what unlocks us creatively is to think about like principles around art style, tone, and even the technology and the politics of our new world. And then from there, we can actually go and build out every last detail.
Yeah, and one of the
Yeah, I agree with Shelasaska in the chat here. Oh no, they're playing this footage again.
An experience that's meant to feel
It's probably
alive,
better
like
to write
it's
early
happening,
concept art than
right
just concept
now.
art to make
And
it
so the world is always
really
changing,
idiot-proof.
Whether the storms, seasons, and yeah, it's a really great concept to write for, because what it means is it gives us the opportunity to drop into the world, almost in real time, a dramatic event that changes the world for everyone. And that could be anything from gameplay to lore.
I mean, all of the moving parts in the dynamic world sound really cool, the way that they sound like they're going to come together. But even though there's obviously a lot going on, it really all comes back to your character. So let's talk about who we're going to be playing as and why we're fighting these crazy beasts.
So you are a freelancer, uniquely skilled to pilot these Javelin exosuits. And you need those suits to survive and fight in this world, because the world will kill you. But on top of that, our ancient rivals, the Dominion, they've discovered a way, they think, to weaponize the Anthem of Creation. And so we need to stop them and protect the free people.
Jesus Christ. Could you write something less flavorful?
Things. Is it a suit? Is it a
This
javelin?
is like
what's
unseasoned
the
chicken
here?
on white rice.
Javelins, and there are 4.
It's beautiful
and,
looking.
They each have unique abilities. There's the Ranger.
But like, boy.
And then there's the
You like your plain oatmeal stories?
The Interceptor, and finally, the Storm.
Yeah,
we got underwater.
Each javelin gives you a different way to play the game. But
Do
the thing to
freelancers have to
remember
deal
is,
with their
like
own
Captain
taxes?
said,
Yeah,
you're
you
not
probably
a
have to do
suit,
taxes
you
as a
are
freelancer.
pilot, which means you can
Probably.
decide which suit you want to use based on your mood, based on the mission you want to engage in, or the javelins that your friends are using. So really what this allows us to do is we've built the suits to look like they're built from the materials of the world. So they each have their own unique abilities. So let's take a look at the Ranger now.
Yes, please, thank you.
The Ranger is a more general.
Okay, here we go.
Able to.
Oh, look at that pose. That tight pose for the missiles.
For up close
That looks so good.
Combat, one-on-one for the most part. The Colossus is heavier, more specialized, but able to really pack in big weapons that let
Yeah,
them
all the
devastate
UI
the
work is so nice in this game.
I'm just going to say the Storm looks like it's going to be my favorite. I'm sure you guys out there are picking your faves right now, too. So the javelins look awesome, but we're going to take a couple questions right now. So Casey tweeted, some of you may have seen, asking for people out there to send us your questions. And the first one is going to be from @It'sSweetNicole, who asks, as a player who is all about making their character their own, what kind of customization options will be available in Anthem?
Yeah, so we really want players to express themselves, both through customizing the way their javelin plays.
They had to pick questions that were oriented to the footage they have prepared.
Personalize the way that it looks, both through paint jobs.
Yeah, look at that EVA Unit 1
actual,
there.
Geometry of the suit itself. We want teams to be able to do this as well. And because you're going to be using a javelin for a long period of time, we really want you to be able to make it your own.
I'm glad you brought that up, because actually, Jay Legato has a question connected to customization. Monetization. How, when, loot box, cosmetics.
Yeah, they're ready for this question too, of course.
We are going to have some cosmetics and vanity items that you'll be able to purchase, but you're always going to know what you're going to buy before you spend any money on it. So no loot boxes, no ability to pay for power. So that means
could be worse.
No ability to spend money on gameplay advantage at all within Anthem. But even more important than that, we want to make sure that Anthem is an immersive experience that feels like it's complete from the get-go. So that means a main story, a big open world, and an ongoing service that provides new content for a long period of time. New story, new experiences for everyone.
Well, I'm glad to hear that I can make.
If they can make the story even halfway interesting, they've already done better than Destiny did on day one.
All right, Casey.
So.
We talked earlier about this being a co-op experience. So can you tell me a little bit about how the team gameplay in Anthem is going to work?
Yeah, it really is about, you know, the fun of.
Oh yeah, I'm not clapping for no loot boxes. That should be a standard.
So you want to get a few people together of different classes.
There were some people clapping.
You know, I think here we're going to see the Colossus, you know, just hammering people on the ground in gameplay. If we can have a look at that. So heavy artillery, being really strong, you know, in melee combat, and then here you've got the Ranger shooting down from above.
Yo, all those combo pop-ups,
combos and special abilities and stuff like that. But what I love is you don't just run around, you're swimming
underwater
and
looks
flying
nice
as well.
So it's interesting because the Slate Tones wants to know, how will you balance multiplayer with single-player storytelling?
So Anthem's really built around trying to combine the impact of having your own personal story with the fun of playing with other players. But we really want to make sure that, that playing with other people feels like a choice. So for people that want to just experience the story, you're going to be able to do that. Now, going out into an open world like this by yourself is going to be a little bit more challenging than if the team of 4 people. And we've really tried to balance the co-op experience to be fun, even for people that don't normally engage in this kind of thing. So I really hope that everyone at least gives co-op a try.
Okay, that's good to know. If you want to roll solo, you can, but it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Well, I know you all are on the edges of your seats. How about
I can't sit further back on this.
Yeah?
But please do.
You guys want that? All right, so Kathleen, I think you're going to set this up for us?
I will. So, you and your friends have decided to play a mission called Scars and Villainy. The Scars have put together an acid-based super weapon, so you got to take them out. So you start in the Strider, which is like a giant walker, and it's your forward base of operations. You have a conversation with your crew, Halleck, Faye, and Owen, and you'll hear Owen. He's going to talk us through the mission as we experience it here. And yeah, then you just get into your javelin suit and you head out with your friends.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark, Casey, Kathleen, for talking to me about Anthem today. We're going to go ahead and roll the gameplay now. Enjoy, everybody.
When did BioWare get that logo? I haven't played a BioWare game in a long time. So I don't recognize
kind of
that.
acid. They're using it as a weapon. So, find where they're making this garbage and shut it all down.
You know, one thing I do like about this game is it doesn't have the potential, like Destiny, to eventually change their branding to people heads sticking out of suits. I think that's legit. That turned me off Destiny 2 so fucking much. when that was like their main key art was like, look at our sick Guardian costumes, but we've got helmets off so you can see the white guy poking out, you know? I fucking hated that in Destiny 2. I loved how the first Destiny was all about the suits.
But be careful.
And it was just like, way to ruin that.
Right. Checking out the Scar Camp some more.
Yeah, well, that looks like a Destiny with a much bigger scope.
Look at all the weapons! Oh, and the turrets! Better move quickly.
Like, the level of scope is pretty nice here. Otherwise, it looks kind of like what you'd expect.
There's a Shaker relic. Wait, something's odd. Get a closer look, would you? See those radiant pieces of energy? They're echoes from the Anthem of Creation. Loads of scars nearby. Be careful.
Yeah, all the machine guns sound really light, I guess. I would expect heavier, more impactful sounds, but hey, I don't know. That's just me.
Return them to the relic. You've got to silence it fast. It's gone silent. Disaster averted. Do you think we get a bonus for... Wait, something's happening.
What the hell was that?
I think that was whatever laid all the eggs around here. The sound came from below your position.
Oh geez, this writing. Really killing it.
On the plus side, this definitely counts toward hazard pay. There's a trail of this acid gunk leading down. Follow it, and we should find the source.
Oh no, they're awake and they're not happy. Yeah, I mean, that looked totally fine.
I'm so hyped, you guys.
Glad you are.
Yep, and that was actually just a short version of the full demo that we brought here to LA. So if you want to come by the Anthem Theater here at EA Play, you can check out the game live.
So I'm sure the question on everyone's minds, when do we get to play?
So Anthem comes out February 22nd, 2019.
Okay.
On Xbox
That's
One,
sooner than I would have
PlayStation
thought,
4,
actually.
and PC.
So mark your calendars, everybody. Fire off your tweets.
I think it's the same day that Days Gone comes out.
Entire BioWare team. I know you guys have that awesome theater outside, so I will see you guys there.
So you can pick between one of two pretty cool looking games, but that are not blowing our minds. Moderately thrilling games.
All of the developers who showcase their games today, and everybody working hard at their studios back home around the world.
Like, there was stuff I really liked, like the flying and some parts of the animations and the HUD.
Some of what you saw today, you
but
guys have to wait to
the
play.
gunplay
But
wasn't
you guys,
really-
EA has so
wasn't really
much
blowing me
available
away.
right now. Now, for those of you keeping score, you can get your free trial of FIFA 18's World Cup today. And Andrew told us about the free trial of Origin Access. Yarny is back with a buddy in Unravel 2, which is also available today. Plus, you can take on your friends in Command & Conquer Rivals starting today as well. Now, that's a lot of available stuff that's out today. Is anybody ready to go home and download anything? No? You're like, I just want to go outside into the Fan Fest. I get it, I get it. So, I want to let you guys know to keep your streams going because in just a few moments, the FIFA 18 World Cup live tournament is going.
Yep, you said everything I needed to hear right there. Well, I suppose that's EA Play for this afternoon. I mean, it's EA. You know, it's the same as it always is, where it's sports, then the dice shooter, then the indie games, and then the one other thing, which has been Anthem for the last 2 years, which is fine. I mean, you know, is what it is. It's not like this is a big shock to anyone, you know, like, we knew exactly what we were signing on for today, and I still think it's smart that EA goes first, because again, if they went anywhere else during the weekend after any other show, they just, you know, they don't have the core appeal games to stand up, you know. What are you gonna do? This is, I mean, that's normal. So I don't know. It's all right. I mean, bearing in mind that like the sports are so not for me, and Battlefield is so not for me. There was probably only 20 to 30 minutes of conference that I even like checked in for, you know. So just like last year, like so much of it just doesn't apply to me even remotely that it's hard to love it. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. You know, that's EA. That's always what EA is. So don't even sweat. We got exactly what we were promised. You know. I am going to be streaming all the conferences. Thank you guys for tuning in to this opening EA Play conference. I'll go over the schedule here, actually, if you guys are not familiar with it. So today was just EA games. They go first. Good for you guys. Sunday, tomorrow, we have Xbox and Bethesda at 4 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. respectively, Eastern Standard Time. These time blocks are not correct. Xbox is supposed to be about an hour 40 minutes, for example, so those vary a little bit. Monday we have Square Enix, Ubisoft, PC Gaming Show, and PlayStation, and Tuesday we have Nintendo. Devolver, I actually forgot to write in. That's actually a mistake. I'll correct that right after this. Devolver is meant to be in there somewhere as well. Don't you worry. I will add that in. Feel free to Google that, and you'll be able to be there at the same time. Or watch on your own, whatever, you know, like I prefer to watch stuff on my own, so you know what I mean. Yeah, so hey, EA, you showed up. You know, I really just wish there was some more indie stuff from them, because that I think is usually the most interesting part of their conference. Even though Faye didn't really blow me away last year, A Way Out was something really special. Likewise, this year, SOS looked quite nice. And what even was the other one? There wasn't. That was the only indie one they showed. They did talk about A Way Out's success. And then, of course, Yarny 2 looked good. So I know the game's not called Yarny 2, but Yarny 2 looked good. Unravel 2 being out, that's pretty rad. I need to go finish the first one. Then I can get in on that. So, hey. How hype are you for Devolver probably having Metal Wolf Chaos? I am so intrigued. I really hope that's on stage. Can't wait. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see that. Will I be streaming RoboCop? Yeah, right. So if you haven't heard, which you may not have heard, Devolver didn't drop any specifics, but they said they recommend rewatching RoboCop before watching their press conference. So if you have a minute, I recommend watching RoboCop ASAP. And then hopefully we'll be able to be on point during the press conference. Hopefully. Hopefully. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the Xbox presser. We'll see how that goes. That's supposed to be an hour and 40 minutes long. Hopefully we'll see some of the early fruits of their new investment labor. Yeah. it'll be a good time. I hope it'll be a better time than previous years anyway. So yeah, I'll see you then for Xbox, and then back with Bethesda later in the night, and I'll see you all throughout the, I would say weekend, but I guess that's the week, isn't it? Monday and Tuesday. I'll be around. We'll be around. We're gonna have a good time. Enjoy E3, guys. Be critical, but don't be too much of a cynic. Have a good time. It's a fun time. Take in all the dazzle, and don't spend your money frivolously. Love you all. I love the fucking Yarny guy walking off and saying love you. That's so good. That's some fucking Arrested Development Season 5 shit. Straight up. Take care, guys. Sleep tight. Have a good one. Bye-bye.